Is undoubtedly a performance that we've been calling him Sir afterwards.
One-tenth of a second, that is all. The Mercedes still in front. And Olivier Galant has just picked his way closer and closer.
Race last time.
Mercedes was a little bit of a clash there, perhaps, on the entry to La Source.
For me, this is the best battle we've had all weekend. It's a terrific show between these two.
My name is Olivier Galant, historic racer mostly, and my car is a Nissan R90CK from 1990. This is a car that was born in 1990. It was made to participate in Le Mans that year. It led for a pretty big part of the race until it had a fuel tank issue, so they had a little fuel leak and they had to retire the car. And then it carried on racing in the US for a few more years in INSA until it was retired in the Nissan Museum. It's very tiring, so we have no power steering and we have a lot of downforce. So these modern prototypes all have to have power steering. So that's very heavy on the shoulders. You still have a manual gear shift. You still have to heel and toe like in a classic car, but it's just happening very, very fast. And also we have, in qualifying, we can get up to 900 horsepower with this car for a car of just above 900 kilos. So it's a handful for sure. In this car, the engine is a Nissan V8 3.5-litre with 2 turbos. It's a very drivable engine, surprisingly, because you'd think it would be like on and off switch the throttle, but no, it's quite easy to feel the power coming. And it's a very robust engine. One particularity is that it doesn't have any belts, so it's all a cascade of pinions behind, so it looks like a Swiss watch when you take it out of the car. It's very nice. The logical answer would be to say that dry conditions fit this car because you can use the power. But I really like driving in the wet. And the last race we did with this car was in Barcelona. It rained a lot and we were fastest in the rain. So I'd be happy to have some rain.
These are absolutely the worst conditions for these cars. They're going to be pulling up a huge amount of water and throwing it straight into the windscreen of the car coming behind. The Cupra safety car lights are off and Crichton will then do this then. Oh, don't overtake the safety car. I tell you what, he's a bit tight there. Depends where the safety car line was. And in having to lift off, he gave an opportunity there for Olivier Galant to get up alongside from the middle of the road, though, slightly defensively into La Source for the first time. The big backfire from the Mercedes. He goes wide and he's in the gravel. Got to get out and keep it rolling, which he does do. Comes out in front of even Verclutre. And away, and a ball of spray is all you can see of the Nissan. It's gone. Oh my goodness me, drama, Nick Padmore, right at the beginning of the race. And you could almost see that coming. He sort of almost looked like he got flustered getting a bit close to that safety car there. There's some brave pills, Nick, being taken here, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And that looked really spectacular. That
look
cars around the corner, spray out the back, fair play.
Yeah, look at those rooster tails there.
Yeah.
Kellner's.
This is a wonderful story. This car's still being run by Just.
This is the final lap.
Last 90 seconds, John, before they put the flag out.
Well, they're on the final lap now. 17 seconds between first and second. Kaduri has dropped 12 seconds with that rotation. He's safe in third, and those will be the top three in some order in C1. Olivier Galant, well, Galant in French means knight, K-N-I-G-H, and this is undoubtedly a performance that we'll be calling him Sir afterwards. It's a knight-like performance.
All the corners outside, and it's raining as much inside as outside. Here you feel like you can really stretch its legs. You can really use the power. You have long straights, and it flows very well here. There's a few corners that are very famous, where you know that you shouldn't go off, because if you go off, you'll probably hit something, and you're going very fast. It's probably one of the most beautiful tracks in the world.
Yeah, that Mercedes looking superb.
No change at the front. It's 2.4 seconds back to Olivier Galant, but it's plenty of power from the number 83 Nissan. That's the sort of more like IMSA Series one there with the RCP, slightly sort of lower nose on that.
You are talking about competition, but I mean, look at the images. We
First and second on the track now, Poulon.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and we had so many battles. In HTC, for example, touring cars, we have seen great battles with Hart, with Mill, with Guénard, all of them in very narrow positions. Really great.
Really close. Now the lead battle about a lap and a half ago was 2.5 seconds. It's come down to under half a second, maybe a quarter of a second. We've still got Criton Lendudis leading in the C11 Mercedes-Benz, but Olivier Galant, who was first.
Both are very good drivers.
Yeah, but they're respecting each other.
Yeah.
Behind the battle for first and second, and they are the first to hit the traffic now. Lendudis making sure. Andrea Josephson saw him. Oh my goodness, that's going to cost him the lead.
Saw him, he felt him, I'm afraid. I think there was a bit of contact there, and he limped into the pits. Is there any damage on the front of the car?
No, I don't think so.
It was so low speed, but it was the ex-June Racing Duncan Bain Tiger found itself just beyond the yellow and red lines on the exit of the bus stop chicane. But the lead battle continues. What will it be across time? Well, 1/10 of a second, that is all. The Mercedes still in front, and Criton won't necessarily enjoy being chased, but he will. It's a battle. He's a competitor. And Olivier Galant has just picked his way closer and closer, but now it's gone out again. But again, a better exit from Radillon for Galant, so he should maybe get close enough to get a bit of a toe, and of course a face full of spray.
Still a lot of water. The tyres extremely efficient at lifting water from the track surface, and of course these are downforce cars. They've got underbody aero, and you can see that is throwing the rooster tail right up over the top of the chasing car. Kellner's keeping these guys honest, and inside is fewer than 6 seconds behind. Down, well, this part of the track has been resurfaced. relatively recently, and it's held up pretty well. Mark, it's great to see these cars, but it is important to have good racing. As we'll take another quick look at what happened there. Lendudis going down the inside. He's fine, and then he just understeered through the middle. I think he caught the inside curb there on the right. Being noted by the stewards. Great to see these cars going around. But I love these drivers with the confidence to race is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love Group C. I'm really a big fan of these cars. Look at this battle.
Well, you're not alone, and we've just had the lead change, and it was coming from Olivier Galant. He was hunted down Creton Lendudis, but let's see what the Greek driver can do in fighting his way back. He knows this Mercedes-Benz very well. He's had it for quite a number of years now.
Yeah.
You know, the role has changed. He was the hunted, now he's the hunter.
That's the ex-Mauro Baldi driven car. And he's sitting in the spray at the moment. Had the wiper on intermittent there. Is now having to sweep, and he's got a good run out of Stabilo. Look down the inside. Here comes Kellner's through the spray as well. Side by side into Blanchimont is not the accepted way in these cars. Possibly do it in some of the other classes in the touring cars. Lendudis shows the three-pointed silver star, which is a decal on the front of that car. Remember, in 1989, the final pit stop for what would become the winning car with the yellow mirrors was the 63 car, I think, that year. The car was spattered with flies, with rubber pickup, and the only thing that they did other than wiping down the windscreen, and then also, as the lead is going to change again here, really good.
The car is more powerful. He's faster in straight lines, clearly.
Yeah,
he's got loads of grunt. I mean, it's the prize for the best sounding engine in this ride. It's a proper rumble, but you know, that was really well driven. A little bit of caution there from Olivier Galant.
There was a car coming,
seemed to be catching
right-hand side,
putting up a lot of smoke on the right-hand side. Is that the little car they clipped earlier, the Andrew Joseph?
No,
it isn't. It's a different one. I beg your pardon. So no damage to either of those. But right.
So that last bit.
Then he's the hunter, but now he's the hunted again. Creton Lendudis in the lead of this race. But
so that last
5 minutes will come down to nothing. But halfway through,
and these two cars battling it out as they would have been doing in 1990.
Don't look in the background for Ralph Kellner's because he pitted from third place last time round. And so did Philip Kadori, who was a few seconds behind him in their Porsche 962C battle. But of course, they will change.
Well, these guys have to come in at the end of this lap, and they will not get another lap. So they've been quite fortunate, actually, that there hasn't been any neutralisation. The final hard braking area, right, left, right. Wiper still going on the Lendudis guy, comes from the middle of the road, trying to feel a little bit of grip. He's got to come into the pits now. They both will.
Yeah.
Now it's not a pit stop race here, Mark. This is important to point out. We're not going to see lightning quick because this is about safety and making sure if there is a driver change, that it's done in a safe manner and plenty of time given. The sun is shining on the battle for the lead, and it's gone the way of Nissan and Olivier Galant with Lendudis in second place, just trying to keep him honest at the moment. Andrew.
But look at Lendudis now. I mean, he's had a lot of success in this race in the past. Last year he won both the races. The year before he won one of them.
See the slipstream coming through the straight, and already the Nissan has gone to the right-hand side. That's the defensive line. Might be looking for a bit of dampness to cool the wet weather tyres down as well. Are we starting to see that drying line? The defensive line from the first right-handed King has worked. That's very fair. Those of you who watch and listen to our IMSA content, you will know that the rules on blocking in the States are very much more defined, that you are not allowed to move in response to the car behind. So if you want to take that defensive line in US racing, you would have to go early, and that's exactly what Olivier Galant did there. He made his intention absolutely clear to Lendudis, Bruce, and took the right-hand side of the track and said, hey, you think you've got the pace to get alongside and drive around the outside of me at the right-hand part of Lecombe? There you go. You have at it, sir.
I'll let you not have my spray, but you're not having my slipstream either. But yeah, I will be on the defensive line as we get up to Lecombe.
And you know there's 30 years age difference between these two guys. And Lendudis hasn't been racing that long, although he's 65. I think he got into racing the Ferrari Challenge just about 15 years ago. And he's a terrific competitor, isn't he?
But some of these cars, particularly the downforce cars, are actually a little bit easier for drivers because they are so confidence-inspiring. I'm not sure I'd quite like to have 800 horsepower underneath my right foot right now.
John, you'll probably know this, and I should know it, but I wonder if there's cockpit adjustable boost on that Nissan.
Yes.
I think there probably is.
Would have been in period,
yeah.
It's allowed here. I have to say, I haven't looked at the technical regulations. So
do the track dries out, you might feel more inclined to start to use it.
Yeah, that's
the lap of the race last time.
Oh,
Mercedes was a little bit of a clash there, perhaps, on the entry to La Source, but again, we've seen
Got him again.
gone down it.
When Nissan goes in deeper into the corner and there's more grunt from Mercedes, down the hill he goes past the endurance pit, but there was contact.
Normally aspirated versus the turbos spooling up there. But that was the fastest lap of the race from Lendudis. And now he's got the Nissan in his pits, in his mirrors rather, right then left. He traced an absolutely straight line again. I think that's fine. Almost the overlap from Olivier Galant in second place. Now to the right-hander, traffic in the way, staying out of the way.
Right, 10 minutes left on the clock and about 40
Oh,
seconds
really?
after that. And in the background, I did notice a really dark cloud as we were looking back down from the high point of the circuit at Lecombe, but down into Bruxelles. It's the Mercedes in front. Olivier Galant chasing. It's been like this, but it has swapped over twice now.
The Argentinian car, the Facundo Nicolas Chawan, number 111 Spice, leading the invitational class, moving slowly at the moment. That's the car that the leaders have just gone by. And Lendudis then still leading.
But for John, for me, this is the best battle we've had all weekend. It's terrific show between these two. And it's not over yet, is it, by a long shot? Look at this.
I definitely think Olivier Galant is looking to cool his tyres here. He goes offline again, down through Fagne.
They've got a couple of back markers, just a couple of C2 cars, just a couple of corners ahead of them. They might catch them by the time they get to the bus stop. That could be interesting. But Lendudis leads this race. But Galant, he'll be winding that wick up as he goes. So at this point, it accelerates up the hill through Curve Porfret.
Cars to go by here. And the 29 doesn't see the leader as they come through. That's Kalmika, the leader in C2. And a big slide by the lead Mercedes, and that's cost momentum and time. But the Nissan not punching out the corners here. I just wonder whether the Nissan's got a little bit of a turbo boost problem.
I was just suddenly slightly concerned that maybe Criton Lendudis, after that bit of contact, had picked up a puncture and he felt it going down immediately, pulled to the right, but to the left from his point of view. But no, he was simply trying to make sure he had fully enough space to get his power down up the
Look at that Nissan.
Despite his pass, but again, lots of spray from chasing Nissan down into the compression.
But look how long, Bruce, it took the second place car, Olivier Galant, to get past Kalmika. He was right on his rear wing coming into La Source, but he couldn't get out of the corner.
Well, it's looking to see what it will be the next problem for them. It's Hiroaki Nagai, the Japanese racer, huge enthusiast. He keeps beautifully out of the way up to Lecombe, and Mercedes turns in, so Criton Lendudis will go chalk that one up. That's another car between me and the chasing Olivier Galant. On the start-finish line, it was, what, half a second between them. It's now 1.3, so the first third of this lap has been very, very good for the Greek racer.
2 more laps at the end of this one, possibly 3. It will depend when they get to the line. I'm just going to send Andrew Marriott to nip to the start-finish down and just steal the checkered flag.
Yes,
I actually want this to continue.
Yeah, Kalmika, of course, still leading that C2 class, but Jack Fabi, the British driver, getting a bit closer.
This has been the fastest lap of the race in for C2.
Yeah, and the Argentines in the pit now, obviously, with some problem with the 111 car. So, disappointment for them from leading the invitational class.
Right now, here we've got the leader coming up to another one of the Nissans, ready to put a lap. I think that's Xavi Micheron that he's coming up to now. Yes, it is. They are not in the same team, so there will be no team radio orders to say slow the Mercedes down, and has to go the long way around, but isn't overly held up by the YHP sponsored car. Marvellous stuff, isn't it? You forget how lovely and compact the designs of these cars were until you see new fastest lap by Lendudis at the front of the field. He's stretched out now to 3.5 seconds from Galant in the number 29 space. Oh, and off of a Q3. Look at the weather. That's why it's raining really heavily on the far side of the circuit. Red flag, it's a red flag, and I am absolutely in agreement with that with 3 minutes to go.
Right thing to do. We've made all the right calls, haven't they?
Mostly driving these cars here, you feel like you're bringing them back in their golden days, you know, it's special. You really feel like you traveled back in time. So yeah, you feel like you're doing what they used to do, just a bit later.